Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review for the season finale of Rick and Morty Hot Rick. And I actually enjoyed this one. I liked how it kind of focused on the familial relationships that go on within the Smith family. And also how Rick's got his own dynamics with this character Bug Ann and then Diane and everything that kind of works along with it. I just think that it melded pretty well, and I liked how it kind of is like, okay, you have these options, but you have to watch out for what you actually do to try and move past certain kind of traumas and everything. So we get that Rick is pretty much done having sex, at least at the moment, with Bug Ann, and she invites him to pretty much this kind of picnic thing. He can go if he wants to, he doesn't have to. He's more like, nah, not really, but then she kind of like gets dressed in like sex clothes or whatnot, and then he kind of pretty much gets back to the Smith household, and they're pretty much just being like, oh, okay, whatever, but we see that Jerry's starting to have, strange kind of recollections of Rick being in places they really shouldn't be. They're like, alright, what the fuck's kind of going on here? So they pretty much delve into his brain and see that it is the kind of heroic memory version of Rick that is kind of like stuck like a kind of virus cancer in his head. And Jerry's like, what the fuck? But he is able to build a machine that pretty much, he makes a kind of fake brain kind of containment place and shunts Memory Rick in there, giving him pretty much carte blanche to do what he wants, because it's like a Minecraft kind of place that he can just do shit. It's like, alright, let's kind of see how this works out. So he actually then gets the idea to remove Diane from his head, the memory Diane, and then go to this picnic with Bug Ann, trying to kind of move forward. It's like, okay, this is probably not going to work out completely right, but let's see how this goes. So he goes off, he's kind of mingling with Bug Ann's family, but then lets slip that they're having sex and everything like that. And of course, this gets into premarital, like a combat kind of thing, calling him a slut with like her previous kind of ex-boyfriend kind of shit. And he's like, I don't want to deal with this. I didn't want to come to this thing, but I tried to grow, get over my things with Diane and shit by taking her out of my head. And it's like, what the fuck is wrong with you kind of shit? And then he's like, alright, fuck this shit. He kind of like beats the one dude a little bit, but he still tried to go at him with a fucking like batleth kind of knockoff, and he just like, fuck this, and portals out. Around this time, our Beth that we usually are finding, well, Earth Beth, is checking in on the Memory Rick, but then Memory Rick pops and had built a machine and gets sucked into her head and pretty much goes through and fucks with her memories to then utilize her to get Memory Diane. And it's like, ooh, yeah, you might supposed to be the better Rick. However, you have just weaponized your daughter, going through all this and training her to do all this stuff to get into Rick's kind of vault to get to her. So she kind of like plays it off with Space Beth and Summer. There was an interesting kind of like, oh god, a Cannonball Run reference? Interesting, because she wanted to do some stuff with the Beths, and she's like, nah, I say that I know what he's talking about, but let's see what the fuck's actually going on. I'm like, huh, I was expecting that kind of reference. That's a movie that my dad brings up a lot and everything, and I've seen it too as well. But it's like, oh, okay, kind of cool to have that kind of little thing there. But we see that Beth then takes this opportunity, goes down, is able to bring out Memory Diane. However, this leads to a giant kind of cascading of events. They kind of reunite, and they're like, oh yeah, cool, awesome. But then the thing is, Memory Diane accidentally wakes up the memory. And because she's training to, like, save the family, keep the family together. That's kind of the motif that Memory Rick has pretty much put into Beth's head and has gone through multiple different kind of memory phases for her and done this to having her trained to be able to fight her way to here. However, Space Beth's like, I knew you took too long. Like, what? It doesn't take that long to go to the bathroom and shit. And it's like, ah, shit, they start fighting, and Beth snaps Space Beth's neck. It's like, oh shit. And then, of course, she gets in the car and starts trying to, like, run out. This is around the point that our Rick pops up. It's like, oh, what the fuck? And we find out that Space Beth pretty much is a robo-spine. She's booked back up. They start kind of chasing after her. They look in and find out that Memory Rick is gone. So it's like, ah, shit, what the fuck's kind of going on here? And we see that Diane's trying to figure out how to kind of fix this, and it's really fucked up Beth's head. Like, she's still kind of fighting Space Beth. She's like, listen, you attempted to break my neck. Yes, I survived, and I'm still attempting to help you here. Come on. I was like, very mature, Space Beth. And we see that his conditioning of her has really fucked her up as she's pretty much getting ready. Our Beth, Earth Beth, is getting ready to pretty much kill herself. However, they kind of work everything out. Space Beth pretty much is able to get her kind of talked down. Let's see here. And she gets together with her Rick, kind of comforting her and then kind of putting her to sleep, getting both of them out of her head and getting things back to normal. In a nice kind of personal growth kind of thing, he has decided to put them into their own kind of thing, shoot them into space, and be like, you ever get within 100 feet or whatnot of my family, I'm going to fucking toast your asses. So fucking do whatever you want. And he's going to even memory wipe himself after this and be done with it. At the end, we pretty much get the Mr. Poopy Butthole addressing the viewers, with Mrs. Poopy Butthole talking to other people investigating what's kind of going on, that this isn't really her husband, it's from like another dimension kind of shit. It's like, yeah, let's figure out what's going on with this shit. So, overall, I liked the episode. It wasn't a kind of laugh out loud, kind of funny kind of one for me, but I really liked how it all melded and worked together. I didn't feel like anything kind of was lumped out. Everything got the time that it deserved. The Bug-An bit, even though it was the smaller bit, was important to pretty much latching on and kind of getting us to the whole kind of memory removing thing, kind of similar to like Harry Potter with taking memories out and stuff like that. However, it leads to the kind of crazy consequences of Memory Rick being like, yeah, I'm a Rick, motherfucker, I'm gonna do shit, and attempting to get to Diane and all that. And even though Rick is trying to move on, he still needs to learn that he has to have like the social skills to deal with the situations as well. That's just like getting emotionally hung up on his dead wife and everything that like evil Rick had done is one part of it, and then learning what to say and how to say it because he didn't research Bug-An's culture and shit, and understanding maybe I need to say this shit a little bit differently. I really felt for Beth being completely and utterly conditioned. Like, it's funny that this was like the better Rick, and he emotionally and mentally fucked with her to achieve his objective, and he did sail off in the sunset at the end, kind of winning. I do like that Rick didn't completely and utterly nuke his ass, just be like, listen, you got what you wanted, stay the fuck away from us. Which is growth. We didn't get a lot of Morty or Jerry much here, except for Jerry having Memory Rick, and Summer's kind of little bits, but I don't mind that because we had them kind of more throughout the season, and I'm still looking forward to seeing what they can do next season. Even though this was a little bit of a more uneven season for me, I still got enjoyment out of this. So those are my opinions on the episode. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also, like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.